Massman Douglas. Immigrant children and health in America is the subject we're going to talk about today. Immigrant children and health in America. Immigrant children is defined as children who are being raised by at least one parent who is foreign born. The children may be foreign born themselves or U.S. citizens. These include children who arrive here with their parents or are detained for illegal entry. And like what Trump is doing now, children who arrive here legally with their parents, children who arrive unaccompanied, and children who are born here and are raised by at least one parent who is born abroad. Immigrant children and health in America. Immigrant children are exposed to more health risks and have less access to health care, resource, and support. The stress migrant children face when separated from parents at the border and an everyday threat of parents being deported affects these children very negatively in many ways. The health campaign revealed the reality of health risks for migrant children in America and the disparity in access to health care. To outline recommended changes for improvement in health for immigrant children nationwide. How immigrant children are treated. Immigrant children and health, the numbers. 1 in 4 children in the U.S. live in an immigrant family. That's approximately 18.4 million children. 89% of these children are born in the U.S. and are U.S. citizens. Immigrant children and health, less access to health care. These children do not have equal access to health care. Immigrant children are nearly twice as likely to be uninsured. They have less access to all the needed specialty care and less likely to have even regular health care. Foreign-born immigrant children may not have access to the health care and immunization in their own country of birth. Immigrant children and health socioeconomic factors. Immigrant children are more likely to live in poverty. They have less access to assistance and must overcome barriers and obstacles to receive benefits and access programs that support low-income children. Immigrant children are less likely to have access to early education programs such as Head Start. Immigrant children and health-specific stressors. Immigrant children often live in a family where a parent could be threatened with deportation at any moment. Children whose parents are taken cause potential to suffer from many health conditions and stressors, including poor sleep, anxiety, depression, interrupted school, disruption in the eating, all these things. When these are forced separations, when there are forced separation, families often lose income and support, housing and food, as well as the emotional connection to the parent. Immigrant children who come to America seeking asylum may have escaped very violent situations where their lives were literally in danger. They may have experienced abuse, exploitation, witnessed a lot of violent crime against others and human rights and other beings. They may have experienced a great deal of bad stuff and traumatized. Campaign methods and strategies. Online marketing campaign, it could be magazine, newspapers, social media campaign. You can use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and so on. Campaign methods and strategies. Different approaches. From the eyes of an immigrant child, real-life stories, both videos and testimonials from immigrant children and parents. Real-life stories, both videos and testimonials from pediatricians. Numbers, facts, and statistics, and share these resources that are available. The purpose of using real-life stories. The purpose of implementing the real-life stories through the eyes of an immigrant child is to give viewers a chance to see life through their eyes. Walk in their shoes for a second. We need to cultivate empathy for people in order to gather support in this health campaign. Psychologically speaking, people tend to distance themselves from other people's pain because they want to remain in their own comfort zone. Through our campaign, we want to remind people of their empathy for others. This will help everybody to make positive changes. The purpose of using real life stories. Dr. Jennifer Dolan, author of Cultivating Empathy, what does it take? The question asks. And the Psychology Today website wrote, when discussing how we can cultivate empathy, quote, one thing we can do is expose our children to a variety of people and cultures. Why? This will reduce the tendency to see any group as different and broaden their scope of empathy to include all people, not just some people, all people. While biology play a part in the presence of empathy and the capacity for it, we need also to nurture it. The purpose of using real life stories. This part of the approach should influence people to be more empathetic. Empathetic. To remember that these are children we're talking about at the end of the day. Watching the children's stories should also remind the viewers of their own children, which some of them have their own children, and what they would do to keep their own children healthy. What resources they have that they do if their child was without. What resources do they have, and what would they do if their child was without these resources? Sorry. The hope is that the cultivation of empathy will encourage American citizens to support more access to health care for immigrant children. The other side of this is that we want immigrant children and their families to feel that they can reach out and ask for help. Actually, yeah, give us some help. We want them to know that they are not alone. The purpose of using facts and statistics. Including facts and statistics to remind people of the reality. Numbers don't lie. Immigrant children are a large part of our population. 25% of our children are immigrant children. These kids will grow up to lead our nation, could one day be the president. Denying them proper health care, we are contributing to a growing health epidemic that will shape our country and its citizens. Assessing the effects of the health campaign. You can monitor traffic online, social media accounts, record views, likes, comments, and shares, record feedback and communication from the viewers. Assessing the effects of the health campaign. Set up case studies to follow individual cases, the immigrant children and their parents. In these case studies, we will be following their health care and monitoring their assessments and progress. This will also include accessing their education, nutritional status, and psychological health. This data will be collected through interviews, surveys, and participating pediatricians. And the following are the references with the information and links to. Thank you.